One of the most recent controversial topics that have come up recently is the whole justice for diesel. So the Aholes tonight are going to debate the pros and cons of the whole situation.
This is United Aholes, a video cast discussing cultural topics with no filter.
Welcome back to Area 41, the littlest hobo's favorite spot on the internet.
Oh, fuck. Actually, to be fair, dogs couldn't even watch TV at that point in time.
It's true. They can now, though, because of LCD technology.
That's true with that dog. Oh, never mind.
They could be,
that dog is long
They
dead.
could be in a television
I forgot what
show.
we were talking about.
They can watch the TV.
They could be in a television show. They just couldn't watch television. See if you notice on the littlest hobo, there isn't a television on in any scene ever in that when he's involved. If he's in a living room, the TV's not on.
Everyone turns it off when the dog comes in.
I'm not sure on
Wait,
check.
wait.
I think that's the fastest derail.
Okay, well, we haven't even got to the topic yet.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
So, yeah, we've really botched this one up good. So what are we talking about, Kendall?
The whole justice for diesel, I guess. Kyle Springer, it's in everybody's mind. It's current. This is a video podcast discussing cultural topics without a filter, so I thought that this would be a good topic for a bunch of a-holes to get together and discuss. I have my thoughts and feelings on the whole thing, and they're probably not what everybody's thinking my angle on it's going to be.
Okay. So, let's recap. Dude had a dog, had a rented property,
Right.
left the dog in the rented property, completely closed up, and drove off,
Went out west.
went out west. Just left.
Didn't tell anyone.
Dog suffered a terrible, terrible death inside.
Starved to death, basically.
Starved to death.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is horrendous.
Absolutely.
Then he was sought after legally, tried in the court of law, found guilty, and charged to 12 months in jail. Correct?
Correct.
Yes.
So that's what we know.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. So what's the angle that we're discussing?
The max sentence was for the crime was 18 months. The actual Crown wanted 6 months and the defense wanted 3 months. But the judge gave him a full year.
So one wanted 3, one
Yeah.
wanted 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both less than what he got.
Yeah.
Both less than
And
what
the
he
Crown
got.
went beyond that.
The Crown
The
went beyond
judge.
that.
The judge gave him.
Yeah, the judge
beyond
gave
what the
him-
Crown had
The
requested.
judge gave him a year. They also, the Crown wanted him to be banned for forever owning a pet ever in the future, period. And he's not allowed to have pets, I think, for 3 years.
3 years.
3 years. He's not allowed to own a pet for 3 years.
So, him not allowed to own a pet, is that... Can he circumvent that by his wife has a dog?
Probably
Or
not.
his kid has a dog? Or can he not have a dog in his house?
I know he's not allowed to have custody
Okay.
of an animal.
Okay.
So yeah, you can probably get around it.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, he can probably... Not while he's in jail, clearly, I guess, but...
Oh, you get cellmates.
So I guess
I think,
rat?
I think leaving a dog to starve to death is going to make him the pet.
so. An aspect
Yeah.
we haven't brought up yet is justice for diesel has become a social campaign, and there have been protesters outside of the courthouse prior to sentencing. You know,
All through the trial, it's been in the forefront. You look at the Justice for Diesel page and the petition and how many people have signed it now. I mean, when you're literally going on it, the number of signatures is tallying up like a gas pump at a gas station when you're actually filling it up. It's going like...
So what is it that they want to accomplish with
That-
this?
I'm not sure.
They wanted him to basically they signed the petition so that he would get the maximum, He would get the full 18 months, and they also wanted a lifetime ban for him to ever own.
But the judge has
Pets.
already given the
the
so they're
sentence.
really
Do we or do we not have double jeopardy laws in Canada? You cannot be tried for the same crime.
Yeah.
they can't try him again.
So he's
I mean,
convicted, sentenced, it's over.
it's done.
Yeah,
You're
wasting
just
your time
doing
with
it
that
for
point.
yourself at this point to make yourself feel better and
Yeah,
be part of the
Well,
bandwagon.
everybody wants to be part of a movement. Everybody wants to be.
I was last night.
Fuck, I'd love to have a movement.
Get
Keto for the win.
That's right.
Get some prunes in you. Are they keto?
No. So, do we think the sentence was just?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lifetime ban from owning a pet would have been.
Better suited.
Yeah.
Me too. Yeah.
I would
Sure.
agree. I would
I
agree with
wouldn't
that.
argue against it.
Yeah, I'd be fine.
But as far as a year in jail,
yeah,
that
Yeah.
seems. I heard that and I was okay with it. Like
Yeah.
it didn't.
yeah.
Okay, so we're good so far.
I want to ask a question though, because I was told this and I don't know if it's true. Somebody told me a few years ago that when somebody is sentenced to X amount of years in jail, that they count it differently than what we think. That it's not actually going to be 12
I think
months.
you're right.
Yeah. So 24 hours in jail, like they counted it 8 hours as a day or something. to that effect.
There is some kind of. I don't know the details of it, but yeah, I think there is some.
He probably
So,
will not serve.
he
the
will
full-
not
He will not be in
serve the
jail for.
No.
12. Yeah. Even if he served his full sentence,
Right.
it won't actually be
I think
12.
you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's probably only
It'll
going to
be the
serve,
equivalent of-
realistically,
I think like
could be as
weekends,
as
maybe
low
they
as
count
5
like
months.
1.25
Okay,
days
all right,
or something.
As I
I
say,
knew
if you
there was
go
something.
into jail on a Friday night and you're let out Sunday night, it's still considered 4 days or something like that.
Okay.
It's
So
weird.
yeah. Which to me is kind of a cheat to people that don't know that. Like, oh, he got a year. Okay, but he's only going to serve technically.
Half of it,
Right.
realistically.
Yeah.
Realistically.
So, yeah. The fact that the judge gave him more than
That's interesting.
both parties were asking for
Yeah.
says the judge was acutely aware of the social
Yeah.
campaign.
Yes.
Which
And
Not
brings
only
up,
that,
I'll bet he owns a dog.
but does that make him a biased judge?
No, he's doing exactly his job. He is judging the situation and laying down a sentence.
and one thing that came out in when he was addressing Kyle Springer was that he actually said that he really doubted the sincerity and the remorse of this man.
When he said, I felt bad.
Yeah. He actually, said that I do not have a full sense that you are actually truly remorseful for what you have done. Based on that, and based on allegedly, while I was doing some little bit of research, not a lot on this because it's all over the place. It's, in all the news outlets and everything like that. I thought it would be interesting to look at some of the people that have signed the petition, because you could actually not just like put your name or whatever and say, click, yes, I agree with this, but you could also leave a statement as to why you were signing the petition. And there was a few of the ones that actually said, this isn't the first time that he has abandoned an animal to die.
Okay, so that completely cancels out something I was going to ask then. Okay.
And I actually posed the question to Justice for Diesel, because I knew that eventually we were going to be talking about this. And I said, I have read a few things where it seems to me I'm getting a sense that there's been a pattern building up. Like, this isn't a one-time thing. Oh, I fucked up. Sorry.
That's what I was going to, my question was going to be, did he realize he was moving to a place where he couldn't take the dog and assumed somebody would hear the dog barking.
Do we know
the dog
No.
would be rescued? But if he has a history of doing it, then clearly that's out the window.
Do we know that there's a validity to those claims, though?
I asked the question, and Justice for Diesel, actually, they were quick to respond to my queries.
Okay.
And they said that this is from people that have been associated with him in the past that have brought this information to light. But it is not part of the trial.
Yeah.
It is not fact.
It has
Hearsay.
It is just
has been
hearsay.
said.
Yeah, that stuff
said.
is.
But they said when you consider that multiple people went to him and said, "What are you going to do with the dog?"
So he,
"I will take the dog."
okay.
No, it's all looked after.
Yeah.
So he had options.
And the
supposedly.
fact that
Yeah.
he left the dog food in a cupboard,
Yeah.
enclosed, and not even, like, if you're going to leave it, you know what I mean, at least, okay,
Give him a chance.
give him a chance, right? It was almost, and the fact that inside of the place was just absolutely horrific. My first thought is, Jesus, is this guy going to be on a bell tower with a shotgun 20 years from now?
Is there something deeper than
Yeah, is
that?
there something
Yeah.
deeper
See,
here?
the asshole in me wants to point out that a shotgun's not what you take to the top of the bell tower.
Yeah.
But that's
But you
the
saw
wrong
if you wanted-
aspect.
He
Well, if
doesn't,
you're taking bird-shot, you might get a crow or two.
he doesn't have that inkling, so he wouldn't know what to take to
Right.
a bell tower.
If I could present what I've been thinking is like the horribleness of the crime aside, it's very frightening to me
How many
that-
people were calling for much worse?
how quickly a community can form around this person is guilty, this person is innocent.
yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
I
Mob mentality
legitimately
is
saw
bad
death
here.
threats against him, people saying they hope he goes to prison and gets raped, gets murdered. I saw all of this shit. And it's like, I hope I never am falsely accused of a crime.
Oh, yeah.
Because
You're already guilty in the court
Exactly.
of public opinion.
Yep.
And the
Seen
whole
it time and time again in this town.
and people saying that he has a pattern. If he has a pattern, it's important we know that. If he doesn't have a pattern, but people are saying he has a pattern, that is very uncool. Like that,
it's
like
dangerous information.
Exactly.
Out there. Yeah.
especially if it was given out like during the trial. Like if you say that post sentencing, then I mean,
Yeah, I have this issue in a lot of aspects. You see it in any major event. And I don't mean to call this a major event. I mean, it is for local, but in the grand scheme of things, it's probably pretty small. But when you go look at, like, anytime someone is accused of something that's a horrendous crime that does injustice to whoever, the amount of people that get away with like claiming for death threats. I would kill this guy if I saw him in the street.
Yep.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Yeah, that gets overlooked. Like, that's not a big deal. Oh, you're allowed to say that. I don't think that's right.
No,
No, you are not allowed to say
no,
that.
that's just.
But they don't.
But
No
they
one.
don't- they
No
get
one
away
calls
with
it
it.
out. They
Right,
get away
yeah,
with
That's
it.
right. To the credit, I guess, for Justice for Diesel, they left, and this is one of the first things that you read on their Facebook page. They left a letter from one of it's got to be a member of the Springer family or whatever, that basically is saying, we do not condone what Kyle did. In no way, shape do we want the courts to go easy on him. What he did was horrific. We understand that and everything. But he has now been sentenced and everything, so you don't need to call the rest of his other family members and threaten vandalism
Yeah.
and threaten,
Yeah, because that's ridiculous. It's mob mentality.
Exactly.
It's the root
They
of
see
the.
Springer on a mailbox. Now we're taking a crowbar or a baseball bat to that because it's a dirty Springers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very old school, but it's the modern social justice thing, and that's what's scary about social media.
Oh yeah.
Is this social justice ramping up, and the fact that people
well, it's a
can run-
torch dispensary.
Yeah. It's pitchfork emporium.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
pitchforks here.
Pitchforks over
Torches
here.
half price.
like I know a lot of people are talking out of their ass when they type shit like that on an internet forum or whatever. But it was really disturbing to read some of the comments on Facebook that I read. It was like,
Yeah.
holy crap! Like this
I was going through them and it was blowing my mind.
yeah, it's like insane. It was borderline insanity.
So, how does this all relate to Vin Diesel?